Hello, 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 everyone. Checking the sound on my end. Come on in. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Hello, 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 everyone. Cool, cool, cool. Hi, Jazzy. Come on in, Miss Sonia. Welcome in, Sister Sonia. Come on in, guys. Welcome in this Sunday vibration. There's something happening in the air. There's something happening, Sister Tracy. Oh, Stacy. Sister Stacy, hi. Stay ready. I like that name. Stay ready. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, I'm gonna allow you guys to come on in here. We're gonna review this video where this actor is saying that he's 400 years old and he knows how to split souls. Very, very interesting indeed. One of my subscribers, shout out to you, Jackie, for sending this to me. And if you guys have anything that I should take a look at, please send it my way. I want to go ahead and just introduce myself. My name is Tahirah. Mother of the Ages is my supernatural name, my spiritual name. I'm a supernatural quantum telepathic healer, guys, creator of the quantum telepathic healing modalities, author of the Great Expansion, a cosmic Bible for the ages. And one of the things I really truly love to do is to teach. I'm so happy. I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone in my class, in the quantum telepathic healing and psychic development class. It is going so beautifully. Chef's kiss. When I tell you guys that everyone will be channeling in psychic on day one, on week one, I really meant it. We're halfway through. We're 3 weeks in. Everyone they've learned their Reiki, they've learned their pranic healing, they've learned their chromotherapy, they've learned channeling, they're doing automatic drawing right now. Today was all about the chakras and the meridian, right? They are literally opening and expanding chakras, pulling out dense energy. Some of you guys are getting creative. We're adding water or fire elements, right, to balance out the yin and yang of the body. Some people's inner childs are coming back in. The distortions are leaving. So you guys are healing and you're also learning at the same time. It is so beautiful. So I'm just super excited. So if you guys want to be part of the next class, just go ahead and email me instructions number 4 humanity@gmail.com, and I will let you know when that gets ready to start. I have some very cool things happening. I am going to add on to this course as well. So it's going to be a full service sort of course. There's a lot to come. Guys, if you're interested in taking advantage of the March special for the quantum telepathic hypnosis session with past life regression, there is a link down below. There's only 2 more days left, but you can use that link, and if you had time, watch some of those sessions. It is unbelievable, the places that we go and the healing that you can receive, right? So when you come into the house, like the video and subscribe to this vibration, everyone. All right, so I'm hoping that you guys are getting the notifications, but if you're not getting the notifications, try to click off of the notifications and then click back on. Hopefully that starts to work. All right, let us see what I want to share with you guys today. It's very interesting, right? So let me actually take this off here. Okay, I'm going to share this. Let me unplug my mic so that way you guys can hear it perfectly. All right. No, guys, okay, that's the title. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this video. Okay, someone's like, are you dating a Hollywood? Baby, no. Baby, no. But a person in this video is describing a story, and it's going to get, quite interesting, in fact. So let's go ahead and take a look.
While we're on the topic of Hollyweird, do I have the story for you? Okay, this is coming from a woman who's claiming to be the side piece of an actor who is publicly in a relationship, but he's telling her that it's not a real relationship and it's just for his public-facing persona. He's also telling her that he's 400 years old and is immortal. Before I get into the story, though, I have to read you a legal disclaimer from my lawyer. This story, as well as all other stories shared on Spooky Scary Storytime, was submitted by a listener and is being shared for storytelling and entertainment purposes only. Names and identifying details have been altered or omitted. There is no way to verify the claims made in this story, and they should be taken as personal experience, not fact. This content does not reflect the views or beliefs of the creator, aka me. Any resemblance to real individuals is purely coincidental and is not intended as statement of fact. Oh, now that all that said, this woman writes me, she goes, hey, I have been seeing this actor since 2022. I have proof. Here's proof. She's in her mid to late 20s. He's significantly older. He is also single at the time that they are meeting, and they're talking, hanging out all the time, but he's telling her that he can't be in a public relationship with her because he's in a conservatorship. Over the next couple years, they grow close. They're still talking all the time. They're still seeing each other all the time. He ends up telling her that he's falling in love with her. He also reveals personal details about himself, like that he struggles with depression and bipolar disorder. He is honest with her about his relationships. He tells her that he's been hooking up off the record with an A-list singer, we'll say, and said A-list singer is also a lot younger than him. And so the person who said the story says, oh, I didn't know that she was interested in people like you. I never saw her date anybody like you. And he says, well, she's actually not the age that she says she is. She's a lot older. This conversation is sort of where her relationship with him gets a little bit creepy, because he starts telling her all sorts of things like, well, you know, a lot of people like me are not really our real ages like we say that we are. We're a lot older. I'm 400 years old. I've actually been a few other people in my life. As for example, I have been an old country singer that is no longer with us. And she says, well, that doesn't make sense because he was alive up until X year when you were also alive. And he says, yeah, well, in order to act human, we still have to play different roles. We have to kill off certain characters. At this point, she thinks he's messing with her. So she goes, so you're telling me you're not this person, you're telling me that you're this country singer? And he says, well, I'm kind of both in one, but I've also been other people. And he names another old actor who is no longer with us. He says, well, I'm also this person and this person who are currently still alive. And she says, well, that doesn't make sense because you have been in movies with this person and this person. He says, yeah, one of them was me and the other one was a clone. At this point, she's hooked. She wants to know more, right? Because she's like, what is this guy going to reveal to me, whether he's lying to me or not, right? But she's like, I'm not really following. And he says, well, I can essentially shapeshift. I can become more than one person, but other people have to stand in for those roles. She goes, well, can you prove it? He goes, how would I prove it to you? And she goes, okay, fair enough. And they stop talking for the night. At this point, they're not together. They are in their respective homes across the country from each other. This is where it gets weird, okay? Because later he messages her and he says, hey, I figured out a way that I can prove it to you. And she says, okay, how are you going to prove it to me? And he says, I will send you a lizard. Go to your back door. And she walks to her back door, not thinking he's going to send her a lizard. And there is a big fat lizard on her back patio step. I don't know where she lives. I don't know if a lizard being on her porch is normal. I don't know if he had her address even. I don't know if he's ever been to her house, okay? But she goes in to get her phone. She comes back out. She's watching the lizard. The lizard runs off the porch and goes like underneath her house. And he texts her and he says, do you believe me now? Texts him back. She said, that could have been a coincidence. And he texts her back and he said, then how would I know that you're wearing a blue and white daisy pattern shirt with your hair half up in a ponytail? That freaked her out, obviously. So she stops texting him as much. She's like, I think I'm just going to go to bed. He's blowing up her phone. He's saying, don't worry about it. I didn't mean to freak you out. I just wanted to find a way to prove it to you. Also, I come to your house sometimes and I protect you while you're sleeping. When she reads this message, all the hair on her body stands up because she had not told him that about a week before this incident, she was in bed one night. Her dog was sleeping on the bed with her, and she said that she was awoken to the sound of what sounded like somebody walking around her room. Opened her eyes and looked around her room but didn't see anybody, thought she was just imagining it, maybe dreaming, rolled over, heard her dog start growling, and then swore that she felt somebody tuck her hair behind her ear. She doesn't tell him this. She doesn't text him back, but he texts her again, and he says, I actually really love you. I don't want to scare you. I want you to know that I'm protecting you from things that are evil. I'm not evil. I'm just what I am. Little more time goes on. She's slowed down on how much she's talking to him. Obviously, she's still kind of talking to him, hasn't seen him in a minute. He's still trying to talk to her any chance he can. She's kind of keeping him at an arm's length, though. But then it comes out that he is in a public relationship. And so she's like, that's weird. You didn't tell me you were in a relationship. And she starts to call him out on it. And he says, that's not really a real relationship. It was essentially a PR move because there had been some other headlines about him coming out. And I can't really say much more than that. This new relationship is essentially to distract people from those headlines. He said, I don't know if he's a narcissist who is lying to me and just seeing what he can get away with telling me and what I'll believe, or I don't know if there's any truth to this, but he also tells her that the whole idea of celebrities having clones They do, but it's not because they've been cloned. It's just that they use them essentially as body doubles, way to split souls. So she's still talking to him as far as I know. Make of this what you will. And can't prove any of this, can't say that any of this is factual. This is just a place to share stories.
Still running your salon or...
Okay. All right, hold on, guys. Let me just see if there's anything else.
Wealthy client of mine in Los Angeles asked me if I would feel comfortable.
Okay, that's a different story. Okay, let me stop there and let's unpack this. Right now, first and foremost, guys, hold on one second. All right. For me, okay. All right, we good? Okay, cool. So it's very interesting how this lady was talking to this guy and he said he's 400 years old. So, guys, I'm telling you, this is what is about to start happening. When I listen to this story, something just start welling up in my spirit. Like people are going to listen. So me and my friend, my bestie in LA, we used to make a joke. The only men in LA is the homeless man on the street. So we like, look at the homeless men on the street. Like, well, they're not really that bad. Just take them, clean them off a little bit, give them some new clothes and all of that. Like that was a running joke, right? I am telling you, there will be more stories like this. People will start to date immortals is kind of what I'm getting. This will not be the last story you hear of this. I am channeling that. This is the new wave of dating. Forget about LGBTQ. Forget about all that stuff. That's going to seem like so normal when people start dating people that are hundreds of years old. They are not hiding anymore. Remember? They can't hide anymore. I think we went over that a few videos back where they've lost their cloaking technology because you have expanded in consciousness. So now stories like this are coming out because they have to prepare the public for what you're going to see. You're going to see them glitch. You're going to see them shapeshift. They have to now tell you that, yeah, I'm 400 years old, but then I have clones, but not necessarily because I need a clone. It's just because you have to have another body stand in for you. Do you guys remember when I was pulling that with Charlie Kirk? The last video we did on that, I noticed something interesting. His consciousness was also in Tyler Robinson's body as well. It was in two places at once. I'd never seen that before, like in a, public figure or celebrity reading per se. And it's the same sort of deal here where they're talking about splitting souls. Well, it's not that they're splitting souls. It's just that they have a lot of different avatars on the board. Like there's one main avatar with their whatever their spirit or soul inside, and then they get access to different clone bodies that they have control over. So I believe that's what she's talking about when it comes to splitting souls. She never really went into that, but I seen it in Charlie Kirk, and I thought that was very interesting. Like, why would Charlie Kirk murder himself, right? Because they said Tyler did it. His consciousness, I saw it, was in Tyler Robinson. But now it all makes sense because remember in the video the lady was saying, well, you can't be that actor because you guys were alive around the same time. And I forgot what he said, but essentially he explained how they pretty much do it. Is this the new way people are going to start dating? I mean, is there really nobody out there to date? And now you have to date people that are openly 400 years old? I mean, I'm truly just asking a question, guys. I am so serious about this. This is it's not even like crazy because this is everything that we've been speaking about. It's not actually crazy. Like these people are telling the truth. He's absolutely telling the truth when he says he's 400 years old because they don't die. All they do is multiply. They just body hop, just like the movie Hoppers that we examined the other day. The cartoon where they literally take a human consciousness and put it inside of animals, right? So God knows what they're going to do when they get into the animal kingdom. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to destroy the animal kingdom, right? And so we got sleeper cells, guys. Even these fake birds that everybody's been citing, there's now fake insects. These are sleeper cells brought to you by the same group of people, these sort of immortals, right? They're not truly the immortals through just ascension. We're actually becoming that, right? We may go through a perceived death, right, as the physical body passes away, but our spirit and our soul is eternal. Their immortal sort of situation they got going on here is all propped up with, with technology and their soul swapping, system, right? And what if I say it's the same people reseating themselves throughout history? The same people in charge was the same people in charge back then. Trump, time traveler. All of these people, time travelers, soul hopping through the ages, through different times and through different dimensions. And then right when they're going to kill off the character that they're playing, they have to what? Bring in the doppelganger or the next version of themselves so they can body hop to that. That's how the actor did it. That's just like, wait a minute, you guys were alive around the same time. How is that possible? That's how they did it, because I learned that with Charlie Kirk. I don't know how that was crazy to me. Why would your consciousness be in Tyler and in yourself at the same time? Because you knew you were about to take this avatar out. So it had to have a place to go. That's why I kind of examined that whole situation. There's a lot of people in on it too. He was also in on it. He was a victim at the same time, but was also in on it, right? Because I think he had to be in on it, because I think they were going to murk him anyway. But in the end, they betrayed him in the end anyway, right? And, who's eating Charlie Kirk? When is Easter? When is Easter, guys? Because remember, they're going to start doing that. Did we miss Easter? Did I miss Easter? There's been a lot happening. Okay, nope. This Sunday coming up. Yep, so we got to be careful, because that's the time that they're going to be feasting on some nibbles and bits from the old avatar of Charlie Kirk, right? But now we know how they're doing it. He'd already make his way to another. They're not dying. They're just going from one, and maybe that's just a temporary place while they needed to kill this avatar off. And you know what I'm getting? See, Mr. Robinson, he may have an attachment. Now, I want to take this one step further than what she is speaking about, right? Because this is the work that I do. I want to take this one step further. If we have the one person here who's soul splitting into the new avatar because they're about to kill this one off. How are they actually able to fuse into this new avatar? Do we have an attachment situation where they are attaching to, the new avatar's chakras and almost like muting them, kind of how like they were doing to Kate Middleton, kind of like, Erica Kirk's a bit different because she was a vibrational match to this, and on some level she actually agreed to work with Bao. But what I'm getting in this moment is that I think we have an attachment situation. I think and for the ones of you that are new to the channel, like the video, subscribe. For the ones of you that are new to the channel, we'll get back to Easter. Thank you. It's this Sunday. We'll go back to that, thing. But I know that's kind of like TMI to, but nevertheless, it did come out in the channel. Remind me to get back to that. But like, let me stay on this for a moment. What I'm getting in this moment is that, I don't think these people are as sophisticated as we think that they are. Nope. You know what I think is happening? I think that they are shutting down the person's energetic grid, aka chakras. And I think they are I'm channeling this. There's some sort of overlay where they go in, they shut down your chakras, so they start to turn down your like soul frequency, right? Your frequency that's attached to all the chakras. They turn all of that down, and then I see some sort of like mock overlay where it's not real, but it mimics the actual like chakra system, you know, where the person doesn't feel all the way off and closed off, but they've been hijacked. Their whole system has been hijacked. Guys, it's beyond the body. It's beyond the body that's being hijacked. You have to know that. They're in the energy field and they're shutting down your grid. That is how they are doing it, right? And we're saying, oh, how are they able to do this? They're manipulating energy. That's what they're doing. That is what they're doing. So they're shutting down the chakras of the next avatar that they're going into. Even if they're going there just temporary, because I believe that Tyler Robinson was just a temporary pit stop because they had no choice but to do something with this avatar. That was a temporary pit stop. And you watch all the other videos, he will be going into a civil rights leader. His consciousness will be going into a civil rights leader in the future, right? But anywho, let me go back to what I'm channeling of how they're doing this. So they're shutting your grid down, right? Shutting down your chakras. They're adding some sort of false overlay where it almost looks like not glitchy, but like you can't see through all the way, right? They're kind of like a film on top of your chakra system, right? Your biofield, right? That's why when things can attach to your biofield, right? Which has your chakra system, your meridian system, your different bodies of consciousness in there. That is how they are doing it. Hold on. Let me see what else I can find out. That's how they're doing it. And I don't know, you guys know I'm like, something with here too. They're doing something to this too. Like attaching here. I've been channeling this for a while. There's something about the esophagus, like throat, but esophagus. Somehow I think they're attached to that to mimic the natural state, your natural state of consciousness as well. It's a whole takeover situation. So the question now becomes, is this truly like a doppelganger or a clone, or have they just really hijacked another vessel, muted that person, overlaid their false chakra grids and systems on top, and that person gets pushed out or muted. I like to say muted. Like technically they're still there, but they're not able to operate the body that they once was able to. They are completely frequency turned all the way down. So they almost become in a deaf state. And so a lot of people will say, like channelers, right? They'll be like, well, the person is, they're dead, or they're on the other side, or they're in the spirit world. Yeah, but how I truly understand it is that they have soul fragmentation. Because you can't just get pushed out, and you have a specified time. If you're a true soul, only source can take you out. Only your higher self that has already made this plan of when you're going to leave can actually kill this avatar off per se. Otherwise, you are just fragmented and you become a disembodied spirit, and you lose the ability to operate a vessel because you're muted. That's how I view it. Right? So this is how these people are getting in. This is how they're getting in. Now, what was interesting is that he said he was going to send her like a lizard or something outside so that she could confirm that, in fact, what he was saying was true. Right? And so if you're 400 years old, like, first and you know what? Hold on, guys. You know what it is? Listen, guys, I'm about to say something shocking. You know what this is? You know what this is? This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm hearing this from source. Yeah, that's the real time you're supposed to live. Catch it. You're supposed to live for 400 years. We were designed to live that long. We were designed to live for 400 years. Somehow, some way, these people who keep reseeding themselves, they switched with us some time ago. And I'm calling them immortals, but they're not. But you notice how I'm calling them who we truly are? They swapped with us through mirror magic. And so we've been stuck on their finite timeline when we are actually on this timeline. Wow. That just came through very, very clear. Because you remember, you start reading the Bible, people used to live for 600 years, 800 years, 900 years. What happened? Well, what had happened? Through fragmentation, that's what I keep talking about. They are muting our souls. Now it's getting bigger. Channel's getting bigger. Listen, oh. Listen. Oh my God. Oh my damn. I never thought just reviewing a video like this would bring such of a channel. Guys, I'm going to tell you how they're doing this. See, we were looking at it too close up. We were looking at the particular situation. But now when we zone out and we look into the template, oh, baby, they switch with us. So when you see the movie Hoppers and they want to implant a human consciousness into the animal kingdom, because who do you think that is? It's the same immortal people that I'm channeling, because they cannot hold the form and vibration of a larger body, because our bodies are not muted anymore. We are expanding. So now they have to go down to insects and rats and all sort of stuff. You're going to start seeing coming out. And it's going to have these immortal people, so to speak, immortal people in there. Source told me these people one day will become belly dwellers. And now I see how it's possible. And the reason why they would become belly dwellers is because of what they did to humanity. Now I see it in real time. We can see it in real time. So don't think, oh, these people are doing this and they're fragmented. They have no choice now. They have exhausted all other things. So it's either you come out of the closet and you say, I'm 400 or 900 years old, or you continue to try to cloak and hide as long as you can until you glitch out, or you get into a smaller vessel that you can still somehow become a vibrational match to that template is truly what it is that I'm seeing. So this is crazy. So through the fragmentation, like I said, when they fragment the chakras and they hack into your biofield and all of that, that's how they did it. I think they went into a collective template and performed a massive psychic surgery and a massive timeline convergence with the help, I'm channeling all this, with the help of the moon and moon magic. And, I'm getting this in this moment. I think that a lot of people in the spiritual community have been trained to do moon magic, but, some of that stuff that they trick us into doing actually upholds the timeline convergence, where they literally swap with humanity. So essentially, they kill us off. They have us on the finite. But that's them. This is truly, we got this whole thing wrong, guys. This is what we should be able to do. The truth is coming out in this age. A lot of the things that we thought was bad or, no, they flipped it around on us. Like the dragon. They flipped it around. Dragons are bad. No, you got dragon DNA when your DNA is whole, when your DNA is back to its primordial blueprint. There's dragon DNA when the 12-strand DNA is whole, cleansed, and purified. So now the moon magic. That's because they want you to do the collective witchcraft to keep the spell work going. And just because you might have good intentions, they're sitting in higher realms. If you're living for 400, 500, 600, 700 years, you didn't learn some things. These people aren't forgetting what they know. That's why they're always back in power. They know the system because they are the ones that built the system, a false system, to overpower us. But we are supposed to be able to not only live for this long, but the channel right now, Destiny Swap, Sister Gail, yes, they are trying to, that's what they did. They Destiny Swap with us. We should be able to walk from one body or one dimension into the next because our soul now requires a different experience to grow, to learn, to expand. That was our true technology. These people stole it from us. And then now they've been regurgitating it back to us as if this is bad and this is demonic, when that is how spirit and soul actually is to work. And I'm gonna go here because, I've experienced two, major deaths in my family back to back. My father, and then a week later, his mother passes away, and we celebrate. She was 100. We just got done celebrating her 100th birthday party. Nothing was wrong, guys. This was in another channel. There are some people that aren't dying now. Yes, did I see the physical body? Do I understand that the body's dead? But I don't believe that they died. I don't. As a matter of fact, I know that they did not. It feels as if people are leaving. Now, yes, will you have to exit the body when you decide to leave? Yes. So just like he said, there has to be two avatars at one time, right? So when they get rid of this one, you still have the consciousness kind of going on here. But I'm saying right now, guys, there's something happening spiritually. I've been noticing with these passings. I'm going to tell you this. When I was at my grandmother's funeral, I saw her moving. And now, mind you, I'm seeing with my spiritual eye. But I wasn't the only one. Someone else saw it too. Now, mind you, yes, I'm not saying her body is alive. No, but the spirit was there. And there was movement. I'm talking chest rising and falling. Breathing. That's what it looked like. And then the other person said they saw her hand move. And at first I thought it was just a one-off situation, but I noticed the same thing with my dad. It's like, I can't really explain it all the way. It's like, yes, I understand you're not in this vessel anymore, but somehow, some way, it's like you're still infinite. I think our technology is coming back. See, here's the thing. Here's how, with the work I do, and I understand as a quantum healer, the moment you bring awareness to something, we just brought awareness to the Destiny Swap. Thank you, Sister Gail. The Destiny Swap they've been doing on us. We are supposed to be living, because aging is actually been deemed a disease. We are supposed to be living for all of those years that we used to. They fragmented us through DNA, slicing and manipulation. They fragmented us by, taking control of certain, the soil and the water and stuff like that, polluting it. So they're fragmenting you for your physical body to be fragmenting. They're fragmenting you spiritually, right? They're fragmenting you, emotionally and all of these things. But before their fragmentation, this is who you were. And you could walk from one world into the next through the divine teleportation, meaning you had another avatar waiting for you on that grid over there. That's our true technology. I truly believe, and I've been saying this, some people will not taste death in this life, and I think that I'm seeing it. Will the physical vessel pass? Yes. But I am telling you, there are people that will walk from this world into the next one. It will, like, they will just dematerialize here and then materialize there, because at the end of the age, everything gets accounted for. You get access back to everything. That's our true technology. That is what Source is saying in this moment. Stacy, do you notice the same thing, like with the people passing away? I'm telling you guys. And I had to sit with that. I'm like, yes, did I still cry? Absolutely. Yeah. But there was something that I could not be all the way like devastated or like really, really sad and depressed. Because it's like, I just know in my spirit that they're not dead. I keep getting it that they just left. That is what my spirit keeps saying, that they just left. And they went somewhere else. I'm thinking that's what's happening now, guys. And now, because we're getting access back to just a little remnant, now maybe we can't keep this body per se right now alive for the 400 years, but what we can do is walk from one world to the next when we dematerialize this body, and we can, teleport ourselves into the next world or experience. We're getting access back to some of that. It will still look like a natural death process, but that's in fact what's happening. So as now we open this up, because they can't hide or cloak, because now we know what's happening. What we just did in this moment, when I caught that, that quantum drip, that vibration, we expanded the cloak. So now guess what's going to happen? You're going to see these people start to glitch out more, because when they do these things, they do it in private and in secret. That's why they're able to do it, because no one knows. They can attach to the collective energy fields and biofields and, systems and all of that and grids. But the moment we expand that template and we say, I see you, they start scattering like roaches. They got to find another place to hide, is what I'm saying. So disembodied spirit is what they are. That's why they had to destiny swap, and then they have to create another avatar to do the transfer. That is what is happening. They don't even really truly have no technology. Source is putting, is making us understand that right now. When we thought they were doing all this stuff, and truly we're the ones with all the technology. And truly what they're doing is they're shutting that person's system down through, machine warfare is what I'm hearing. I think they have some sort of machine, maybe, possibly, and I think this was created by the military ops. They have some sort of machine that can rapidly shut down someone's system, like energy body and their chakra system, and then create that false overlay and then attach in. Some of this stuff I'm seeing now, I'm starting to understand in sessions. Some of this stuff I'm seeing, like, for instance, if you are a person who you constantly have an attachment and no matter what you do, you can't get rid of it, I'm telling you, that's what it is. I'm telling you, this is exactly what it is. Because it's not a real attachment. It's a false freaking attachment. Wow. I am learning so much. Like, Source is like giving me this channel, right? But see, in this season, we expand this, and now they're not going to be able to easily get away with this, because we now know. Some of these attachments are false. That's how they're doing it. And so if they don't have a clone body or an avatar waiting, then some of these attachments people are getting are these disembodied spirits, like this 400-year-old man, because they're not doing it naturally. They don't have that technology because they're not birthed of soul and spirit. They have to use mechanical mechanisms and, systems that were created. But that is what they are doing. And what it's doing, it's creating a false overlay or a false energetic attachment. And the person, like, I can't get rid of it, I've done everything. It's because it's probably false. So now you have to practice the art of detachment, detaching from it, and remove the cloak. Ask Source to reveal the cloak on your chakras. I am telling you, I'm seeing this very, very clearly. Remove the lines that they're feeding to you. They're feeding lines. It's all quantum computed. They're feeding energy and recycling your trauma from your unconscious, subconscious mind. Cue in, let's recycle that. So this person is lowered, so they are never reach up here to understand everything that I'm saying, or that Source is telling us in this moment. This is very interesting. Okay. Yep. Okay. So thank you, Stacy. With the people passing away. So Stacy says, I don't know how to deal with the passing. Oh, my son. Oh, the way he got taken away from me. I just can't and don't know how to forgive these people. It's so hurtful knowing how he suffered. Thank you so much, Stacy. But you know what, Stacy? Sometimes when people pass away, we might think that they're suffering. But a lot of the times, especially if it's a true passing, that pain is masked. Yes, I've had near-death experience before. What happens in a lot of cases, there's a separation between the physical body and your consciousness because your body goes into shock. You don't know it. And so what happens is you're almost experiencing yourself outside of yourself. So like if the person was harmed in any way, yes, they see their physical body. They might feel when there's too much pain, the body has ways of protecting itself. The light comes in, a source comes in to coat that. So as they went through pain, they don't feel it. They observed it. I want you to know that. He observed it, but did not feel it. And I'm channeling this. He did not succumb to whatever injuries. That was not the reason for the passing. Source covers it. And so you only experience it. You are separate. Your consciousness becomes separate from the body. And then you experience what the body's going through. When you are, we create some of these things in our soul contract, you will not feel it no matter how it looks. No matter how it looks. So that will give us, a way that we can deal with these things, guys. That's what happened to me. And, and I was like bleeding out, for 2 weeks. I was internally bleeding, just walking around, like didn't even know. Right. And then the moment when it all hit the fan and my body, was bleeding out, it's like, yeah, there was so much pain, but I became an observer of it. So yes, I remember the pain because I'm looking at me in pain, but there's a disconnection from how I'm experiencing it. I want you to know that. Like, I don't think we account for the light enough. I think we spend a lot of time accounting for the darkness, but we don't account for the light enough. This is what Source is saying. Take me into account. Account for the light, for the goodness vibration, which is also, part of your hardware and your artillery. We all work together. The light, the body, the soul, the spirit, the consciousness. They have a way for us to deal with passings in our soul contract. They have a way to do that. I've never heard a soul tell me I'm in so much pain when they passed away in any of the hundreds of past life regressions that I've done. I've never heard them say, I'm in so much pain, my body's in pain. Mm-mm. They said, oh, I think I passed away. Oh, I was there, and then now I'm here in spirit world. They've never once told me I'm in so much pain. Never, not once. Now, will they say, will they be emotionally hurt for maybe how they passed away? Yes, because they're looking at the loved ones and that they left behind. So yes, they feel emotions like us. But I've never heard someone say, yeah, this was the most hard, feeling or, sensation I ever had to go through. I've never heard that. Never, ever, ever. So account for the light. I think this is just a general message, guys. If we want to do things in our everyday life, we're always counting on, what could go wrong? No, account for me, account for the light. If you account for the light, I'll show up more. That's what Source is saying. Account for me. I'm built into this. Like we are co-creating this thing together. Account for me. I'm here. So I just wanted to say that. You're welcome, Bliss Singh. Oh, Tahirah, that was beautiful. You're so right. We don't give the divine light enough credit. Such a good reminder. Yeah, those Source coming through. Stay. Okay. Says, I'm so sorry for your loss of your son. Yes, thank you. I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you. For sure. So, Bliss Singh says too, you heard this too. Yeah. They never say, oh, this is excruciating pain. Never, not once. Because the light is covering them. It's the pains of your death, it becomes, you're separate. Your consciousness is separate. You're observing your body. That's it. The light is with you. It's not going to let you feel all of that, no matter what way it looked like. I'm just saying, I've never heard a soul ever tell me that. Never. So, this was interesting. I don't want to be in here long, but, I love the fact that, I could use this video to kind of channel more about what's happening, because at heart, guys, I'm a spiritual teacher, and I love to expand these templates. And who knew that these people who say they're immortal, they're not. They're, of course, just the disembodied spirits, but they have found a way to split our soul line, where it's like through a timeline convergence, right? Where it's like they hijack it, and then we end up being on their finite timeline. And so this is something we can do in our meditations and in our prayers. Ask Source to restore your infinite timeline, your immortal timeline. Now, will the body still pass away? Yes, but you will never experience a death. You will go from one world into the next. Because that's how it truly works. And I'll guarantee you, if we do this as a collective and we push this, this is bad, this is bad, this is good. No, nothing is bad when you are infinite Source. This is going to kill me. This is going to slow me down. Nope, it's not. You got to alchemize everything. If we do this as a collective, I guarantee you we will start to get our true soul line back. Because these people, they can't hold form anymore. That's why they have to say, I'm 400 years old. Have you ever heard somebody telling someone, I'm 400 years old, I'm standing outside, I'm going to send you a lizard? They're desperate. Why are you so desperate to get with this woman, you 400-year-old man? I know why. Because you're about to body hop into her by shutting her chakra system down and, colluding her biofield and attaching to the heart. I'm getting massive telepathic impressions in my heart. That was his plan. So don't let these people trick you. And yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just disembodied spirits, and they're not immortal. You are. And the more we ask Source for our authentic timeline back, then the more you will see these people come out of the crepe keeper's closet, and they will start looking their age too. That's what's wrong with all these celebrities. And you see Demi Moore, that's what's happening. Girl, it's a disembodied spirit still trying to hold on to that long figure. Remember I said they can't be in the regular bodies no more. She's trying to hold on to that thing, and that thing is literally Death Becomes Her. You guys seen that movie Death Becomes Her? I'm telling you, they can't be in those bodies no more. And so that's what's happening to her. And you're going to see this happen more. That's why they have to say, oh, these celebrities their plastic surgery is going wrong, or even the adrenochrome that they need. They can't hold form anymore because you are awakening to your true sense of self and your true divinity. That is why. And the more they try to hold on, then they look cray-cray. They look crazy. That's just the truth. Now, this woman is supposed to be 63 years old, but, is given Crypt Keeper. Like, that's what it is given. I don't know if I can find that picture of her. I was going to show you guys. Yeah, I'm going to show this to you guys really quickly. Now, this is a dang old shame. Just a shame. Let me show this to you guys. This is bizarre. Bizarro. Bizarro. Hold on. Okay. First of all, I don't know, there's some filter. She didn't look like that truly on this red carpet. She looked crazy in the face. So they've done some touch-ups to this. Look how slender this body is. There's just no way. At some point, you just have to understand there is no way. There's absolutely no way. They can't be in these elongated bodies anymore. That is what is happening. So the more that disembodied spirit tries to stay in there, the more crazy and frail she's going to look. That's why they're running and popping their consciousness into the animals now, because they need a smaller, they're being decreased in bandwidth. And that's why this guy needs to, this actor needs to date a regular person, because he's trying to get through her heart chakra, through the etheric cord, to connect there. And, body hop into there. And this is not how she looked. But I'm just letting you know, this is not a real size of a woman. You're like, oh no, they're just, they're not eating, they're fasting, they're all of these things. Nope. They just can't hold form anymore. They're decomposing because you're awakening to your own divinity. That's what's happening. And then they got to put 1 million filters on them, and then get 1 million body doubles because they glitch out so much. Oh, got to switch over here to this one, switch back for this event. That's why they need all the clones. Like I told you, Trump has always had clones since the 80s. People have been talking about that. Like, I remember, was it Dick Gregory talking about all the clones that Trump has? That was back in the day. That's like 30 years ago. He's been talking about more, 40 years ago. That's why they glitch and glitch and glitch, and they need to keep the avatar on the world stage. So they have to have the other prepared vessels ready so that they, keep watch over you. And that's a whole nother channel coming through. That these people are here to watch us. Yeah, they are the watchers. They are the watchers. And that's why they're in the higher positions of power, because they can see all things and they're getting data on us. That's why they have to be in those positions of power, because they are the watchers. They're watching us. Message. Thank you, Source. Okay? I don't know what else to say. That's the channel for this evening. Looks like she stopped eating food. Yeah, she definitely signed the contract. You can tell. That's just not normal. So Mermaid Motion says, Tahirah, this reminds me of the episode in Ben 10 cartoon. There's a villain who looks very nice who goes for Gwen, the sister. His name is Michael Moon. Oh, Morning Star, also known as Dark Star. Yep. Do you see that? Remember what channel that was? Jeffrey Epstein was calling himself, we were channeling the Morning Star, which is both like Jesus and Satan. That's what these people are doing. They have the good guy avatar and the bad guy avatar. Because they're aligning with the universal dualistic energies. And as long as they can stay within duality, they can cloak and hide. So we got to find a way. Maybe, in our class, if you guys move on to the next portion of the class where we start to really work on these sessions, we'll work on some of these situations and uncrack some of these codes with the celebrities and with these fallen angels, much like this. These truly are the watchers. That's why they have to be over you, watching, getting reports on the collective, because you are the one with the power. So they sit themselves up there so they can try to, dim your light, cause a, whether, manipulation over here. They know who you are. They know what you're supposed to do. They're not confused. They have records on everyone. That's why they're in those positions. But the tide is turning. We are taking ourselves back. So guard yourself and guard your hearts, because there's a lot of these people trying to get into your heart space, to connect to that, and they'll just start siphoning. The heartbreaks and stuff, guys, is given a whole new meaning. Some of these heartbreaks are not actually real. You might be like, oh yeah, our relationship was real. Our marriage was real. Yes, it may have been real, but what was the energetic attachment of the partner? There's probably something working through that vessel to plug into you, is what I'm saying. That's what they're doing. Like I'm zoning out on these attachments, and I'm calling BS on some of this stuff. Some of these attachments are fake. It's just for these watchers to stay here. Sometimes they need a temporary vessel, and they'll say it's your trauma or whatever, but no, it's them. Energetically biohacking into your star system. I'm channeling. Oh Lord. Thank you. The channel is channeling today. This is your star system. Did I just say star system? They're biohacking into your star system. So your whole, auric field and your chakra grid and your meridian channels, that's your star system. It functions. If we were to put this beautiful you, underneath a microscope, it would look like a star system. See, they're just stars. And then they have the fake Hollywood. When you look up Hollywood, it's probably demonic, the Hollywood. I don't know. I'm just saying. Could be. But you are part of a supreme network of stars. That is what we are made out of. We are a star system. All of the components, auric field, biofield, chakras, meridians, bodies of consciousness. All of that, toroidal field. Yes, that's your star system. But then they destiny swap, and then you notice they're turned all the way up, and you're turned muted all the way down. Then you're depressed. Then then you're thinking about things, or then you're not feeling so well. You might get illnesses, right? And then you're tired. You have fatigue all the time. It's because they are biohacking into our star system. But the moment we zone out and we embody our full aura, embody our star system, they can't do it because it's like a squatter. These people are freaking squatters. They're like, I got squatters' rights. You guys know that? Squatters' right, where people can squat in your property And if they start getting mail sent to them there, oh boy, it's going to be hell to get them out, right? That's what I'm saying these people have done. It's like squatters' right. They've done a number on us where they're squatting within our star system, within our auric field. And then you start to believe that you're them. No, you are you. So if you're at home and fully embodied, right? If you are a fully embodied soul taking up space not only within the physical body, within all of your bodies of consciousness, within your auric field, within your biofield, and you are affecting change on the planet when you do that. When you are flowing like that, then they can't squat because you're taking up all of the space. See where I'm going with this? Yeah. I want to do more of this. And then I want to bring it from a spiritual perspective, because I love all things spirituality. But this was just, a kind of a cool video to do. It doesn't have to be that long. But thank you guys for being here and tuning into this vibration. Such a good convo. Thank you very much. Hi, Minky. They got mail. Oh, they got mail yet. They'll be getting mail, right? If they're living there and you're acting as if you're their freaking maid. Oh, I got to clean up all this trauma. I got to clean up all of this. It's them. It's them. It's them. I'm almost wondering now if we take this approach with attachments. If we just learn to take up space. Don't allow them to send mail to your house, your star system. You become the watcher again, meaning the person in power overseeing everything. You're supposed to oversee your star system. If we take that position back again as a collective soul body, then we get rid of these disembodied spirits, is what they are. Okay? Take up space. Learn how to take up space within your own soul. Or remember, someone else will take up the space for you, or something else. Right? And the last thing I'm going to say, because I want to reiterate this, these people, if they do not have a prepared body, clone, or doppelganger, where if they need to body hop to get rid of one avatar into the next, then they're disembodied spirits. They will look for anyone who's lowered in frequency. That's what I'm saying. Some of these attachments are fake. They are just people at a layover. Using your body, your star system, your field as a layover until they get their new clone body or their new next role that they're going to be playing here on the Earth School. Do not let them use your body as a layover. Fortify your field, expand, take control, stand in full power, clean out the closet, all the traumatic imprints. Have your come to Jesus moment, meaning bring it up to the light and expand it. No one can hold anything against you if you don't hold it against yourself. No one can recycle your traumas if you don't recycle it with yourself. So when I keep talking about doing the work, yeah, there's no way around it. Or you get these false people taking a layover or squatting in your within your auric field. Yeah, it's kind of what's happening, guys. So I'm going to leave it here. Guys, if you are interested in joining the Ascension programs where we get to work together one-on-one for 6 weeks and we work through all 5 bodies of consciousness, and I use past life regression therapy, other quantum healing tools, energy medicine, light language, emotional freedom technique, and all of those things, then there will be a link for a free consultation down below that you can book. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be well. Be well, guys.